We're down on the bench with Scott Arniel. Let's go back a couple of days, Scott. That game against the New Jersey Devils, certainly typical New Jersey coming into a building. You can certainly see why right now they're dominating the National Hockey League with their style of play, but it wasn't a surprise for you guys.
No, we knew that they were going to play that way, and the Jacques played his. His teams have always been about defending the middle of the ice, and it was going to be really a lot about methodical sort of continue to just battle through and work to get to that net. But we didn't have much in the way of legs coming off that big Minnesota win, and you could tell early on that it was going to be a long night. Once they got the lead, we hit more sticks and shin pads, and didn't get pucks through, and it just became more frustrating after a while as the game kind of went on.
As a coach standing behind the bench, knowing that that's happening, how do you go about and trying to change that mantra on the bench?
Yeah, well, we tried changing up the lines a little bit. We tried just keeping the shift short. Just try to keep them as motivated as possible, and just to tell them to kind of try to battle through it. But that one just we made 3 mistakes, and not against, it wasn't the Kovalchuks, it wasn't the Ellie Ashes and Rollistons that beat us. It was the sort of their grinders. It was turning the pucks over 3 times and ended up in the back of our net.
The math still says that there's a playoff hope, and that's the way you have to look at it as a coach, as an organization. What is your message to the players?
Well, it's just, you have to continue to believe and have to have hope, and you can't stop playing. We've worked too hard for 72 games. We've put an awful lot of work in here for us now just to pack it in and take the next 10 games off just because we think we may not make it. Let's go put everything on the line here. Just keep staying focused on one game at a time. Go into Colorado, which is a building we haven't had a lot of success in, and then go in there and start with that game and be feeling good about yourself, be confident with yourself. We will go from almost a less than 24-hour period where we were feeling very good on Saturday night against Minnesota, coming home on that flight, to last night where we feel right at the bottom of the sea. So it's get those emotions back in check, and let's just go get after Colorado.
Yeah, one good thing, and again, you look at positives at this time of year and try to build on those, is the offense from your defense. And you go back to that first part in January when all of a sudden you bring up a young guy by the name of Grant Clitsum. But everybody else seemed to jump on board with your style of play that you've been basically preaching from day one when you walked into this arena. But certainly that's a positive sign to be able to look at for the future, to be able to to build around.
Yeah, well, you know what? We got ourselves up. I think, like you just said, from that point forward, we're 4th in the league in defensive scoring. So it just makes it that much more dangerous. If you own all the emphasis to be on Rick Nash or Dick Voracek or R.J. Umberger, in this league, the way coaches coach, you can shut those forwards down. And if your defense are a part of the offense and they're part of that cycle, and if they're part of the rush coming all the time, you become a dangerous team. And now it's a little bit tougher to defend. And I really like the way the guys have started to really grasp what it is we're trying to do.
Your thoughts tonight? Your opposition, the Colorado Avalanche.
Well, again, another trap game where it's a young team that they've made a lot of changes. They lost a lot of hope there. They lost a lot of games in a row. If you come out and think it's just going to be an easy game, they're proud players, and they're going to come out and play hard. And until we take their hope away, if we can get a lead, get ahead, then hopefully they're going to go in and shut it down for the rest of the night.
How are things on the injury front?
We're moving forward. Anton Stralman's going to be he's coming on the trip. Obviously, he's here and skating, and we'll see. He's got to get some, his conditioning and timing back up there. Might be questionable for Phoenix, maybe more like Vancouver. Grant Clitsum obviously left at home. We'll just continue to see how he does with our time away.
All right, all the best and good luck on this trip.
All right, appreciate it.
You betcha. Again, for Jackets TV, I'm Bill Davidge.